The universe is not just vast, it is unimaginable. Its immensity stretches beyond the limits of perception, beyond the horizon of light, beyond the very boundaries of thought. Every star, every galaxy, every pulse of energy that reaches us from the depths of space is a whisper from a reality so immense that the human mind strains simply to hold it. We live on a small planet orbiting a modest star in an ordinary galaxy. Yet even in our modest corner of existence, the cosmos hums with a scale and complexity that defies comprehension. And in this grandeur, there is a question that does not simply seek an answer. It insists upon it, a question that dares us to look past the observable, to imagine not just what exists, but what could exist beyond the very fabric of reality as we know it. To grasp such a concept, we begin with what we know, what we can see, what we can touch. And even here, the familiar begins to feel like a stage set for the unfathomable. Imagine a vast balloon, small at first, your fingers pinching its surface, feeling the stretch, tracing the curvature. Now imagine the balloon inflating faster than you could ever reach across it, faster than light itself could travel, carrying galaxies and stars as if they were mere flecks of dust. This is the universe, expanding relentlessly. And yet no matter how far we extend our metaphor, the analogy falters. Unlike a balloon, the universe does not exist within a larger space we can measure or step into. It is space. To speak of what lies beyond, it is not to speak of a location on a map, but of something that may elude the very idea of location. And that is the dizzying paradox that draws the mind to both awe and terror. We can map the heavens, calculate the movements of galaxies, measure cosmic microwave background radiation, and trace the expansion of space itself. Yet the cosmos may harbor regions, dimensions, or realities forever inaccessible, and in their inaccessibility, they beckon us with a quiet, insistent mystery. If the allure of such a question sparks even the smallest ember of curiosity, stay with us, because what follows is a journey that will stretch not just across space, but across imagination itself. From the earliest civilizations to the modern era, humans have tried to chart the heavens. Ancient astronomers saw the sky as a vast dome, stars affixed to its firmament, planets wandering like sentient lights across its surface. Ptolemy and Copernicus gave us frameworks for understanding motion. Galileo's telescope revealed moons orbiting distant planets. And yet even as knowledge grew, the universe continued to elude comprehension. In 1929, Edwin Hubble measured the redshift of distant galaxies, showing that the universe was not static, but expanding, a revelation that transformed our understanding of reality. The universe is not a fixed canvas. It is a dynamic, evolving entity, stretching outward in every direction at a pace that defies simple intuition. Observations of the cosmic microwave background, discovered in 1965 by Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, allowed scientists to peer back to the earliest moments of creation, when the universe was a hot, dense plasma only hundreds of thousands of years old. These discoveries built a framework of extraordinary precision, billions of galaxies, trillions of stars, all arising from a singular origin, expanding into the darkness, carrying the story of time and matter across incomprehensible distances. Yet even as we chart these wonders, the question lingers like a shadow on the edge of our vision. The observable universe, everything from which light has had time to reach us, extends roughly 93 billion light-years across. Beyond this, the cosmos continues, perhaps infinitely, but our instruments falter, our mathematics strains, and our imagination reaches for a reality that may forever evade our grasp. This is where modern cosmology meets both exhilaration and vertigo. Some physicists, like Alan Guth and Andre Linde, propose that what we observe is only one bubble among countless others, each forming its own universe through the process of cosmic inflation. These bubbles could be colliding or drifting apart in a higher dimensional space that our senses cannot perceive, creating an expanse so vast, so fundamentally unknowable, that our very definitions of inside and outside lose meaning. It is a universe that multiplies itself, where every principle we hold, gravity, time, causality, may be reshaped or inverted in realms beyond our observation. And if this possibility intrigues you, imagine where the next fork might lead. Subscribe, and let us journey into the realms beyond even the edges of thought together. The human mind is adept at navigating familiar scales: a room, a city, a forest, a mountain. We walk along streets, climb stairs, cross rivers. Yet the cosmos operates on scales that render these analogies meaningless. The distance between Earth and the nearest star is over 4 light years. Light itself takes 4 years to traverse what our imagination might casually call nearby. Entire galaxies drift apart at speeds exceeding millions of miles per hour, and yet the space between them is mostly nothingness, a vacuum punctuated by radiation, dust, and the occasional wandering planet. To conceptualize the universe is to confront something simultaneously intimate and incomprehensibly vast. The atoms in your body were forged in the cores of dying stars, yet those same stars may reside in galaxies so distant that they are forever beyond reach. And in this realization, there is a subtle terror, but also a profound exhilaration. A reminder that we are not separate from the cosmos, but a product of it, capable of contemplating the very structure of existence itself. If the thought of standing at the boundary of the known, peering into the unknowable, resonates with you, remain with us, for the next steps will push these ideas even further, into realms where imagination struggles to keep pace with reality. And yet, there is something almost poetic in our limitations. The universe, in all its incomprehensible scale, gives us glimpses of truth through observation, mathematics, and theory, even while it keeps its deepest secrets just out of reach. We study light from galaxies billions of years old, witnessing events that occurred before life even existed on our planet. We measure cosmic background radiation, detect gravitational waves rippling through space-time, and probe the mysterious dark matter and dark energy that shape the structure of the cosmos. Each discovery peels back a layer of the universe, revealing a beauty and elegance that is both terrifying and sublime. And still, the question persists. Beyond the observable, beyond the limits of space and time as we know them, what else might lie? Could there be regions where the rules of physics twist into forms we cannot imagine, where time flows differently, where matter and energy manifest in unimaginable ways? And if these realms exist, are we alone in contemplating them, or are there other observers, other forms of consciousness peering back at the edges of reality as we do? Every answer we uncover seems only to multiply the questions, and every question draws us deeper into the grand labyrinth of existence. Beyond the limits of our perception, the universe begins to behave in ways that defy not only intuition, but the very logic our minds rely upon. Imagine a reality where the familiar concepts of space and time, so tightly bound to every step you take, every heartbeat, every fleeting thought, are merely local conventions limited to the bubble of existence we call our universe. Beyond this bubble, in what some theorists call the multiverse, these rules may be rewritten entirely. Perhaps there are realms where gravity repels instead of attracts, where light curves in patterns that are not just strange but impossible by our understanding, where matter organizes into forms that defy geometry. The edges of our universe, if such a term even applies, might not be walls or voids, but thresholds to domains so alien that the mind struggles to conceive them. Each layer of speculation peels away another certainty, revealing a cosmos that is not a single, knowable entity, but an intricate, ever-expanding fractal of possibilities. And the more we probe, the more it becomes clear that our existence, fleeting and fragile, is a story written on a stage far larger than we can fully comprehend. Consider the theory of cosmic inflation, first proposed by Alan Guth in 1981. In the first fractions of a second after the Big Bang, space did not expand gently. It ballooned at speeds exceeding the velocity of light, stretching nascent regions of the universe into enormous, causally disconnected domains. These domains, these bubbles, may each constitute a universe in its own right, governed by physical constants that differ in subtle, or catastrophic, ways from our own. In one universe, stars never ignite, leaving a cold, dark void. In another, matter and antimatter annihilate immediately, preventing galaxies, planets, and life from ever forming. And in yet another, time itself may curve upon itself, forming loops or paradoxes that our linear consciousness cannot parse. Each bubble is a universe, and the collection of them, the multiverse, is a structure so vast, so fundamentally unknowable, that the word outside loses all meaning. The very notion of a boundary dissolves when space itself is merely one layer of a larger, incomprehensible framework. If the idea of stepping beyond a single universe fills you with both awe and a spark of curiosity, imagine what lies beyond the next bubble, and consider joining us, because the journey through these unimaginable domains is only just beginning. Yet the possibilities do not stop with inflation alone. Some theorists speculate about higher dimensional spaces, realms in which our universe is a mere three-dimensional slice, or brain, floating in a multidimensional expanse. In these dimensions, entire universes could drift alongside one another, occasionally brushing or colliding, triggering cataclysmic events that ripple across existence in ways we cannot yet measure. Picture a cosmic ocean, each universe a droplet suspended in a higher dimensional current, occasionally merging, splitting, or evaporating in patterns invisible to us. Perhaps the collision of these brains is what sparked the Big Bang itself, suggesting that the birth of our universe was not a singular miracle, but a recurring event in an eternal, oscillating cycle of creation. The very mathematics that describe such interactions, complex, multidimensional, abstract, hint at realities so alien that language falters, and yet they are grounded in equations tested against our own universe, in patterns of radiation, in the subtle curvature of space-time itself. And even within our observable cosmos, there are anomalies that challenge comprehension. The accelerating expansion of the universe, attributed to a mysterious force called dark energy, hints that the ultimate fate of our universe may be one of unending drift, galaxies receding beyond visibility, stars exhausting their fuel, and time itself stretching toward a cold, silent eternity. Yet some models suggest that this very expansion could generate new universes, like seeds cast from the branches of an infinitely growing tree. Others speculate that black holes may act as portals or incubators, collapsing matter and energy into entirely new domains, perhaps even new laws of physics. Every revelation forces a confrontation with scale and possibility. Our universe, majestic and seemingly infinite, may itself be a small fragment of a far larger, far stranger reality, one in which life, matter, and consciousness are but localized phenomena amid an infinity we cannot yet imagine. The stakes become even more profound when we entertain the idea that universes could interact, overlap, or influence one another. Quantum mechanics suggests that at the smallest scales, reality is probabilistic, a web of possibilities rather than fixed outcomes. Could this principle extend to the cosmos as a whole, with universes entangled across dimensions, their fates intertwined in ways that ripple across realities? Could decisions, events, or forces within one universe cast shadows or echoes into another? And if so, then the choices we make, the thoughts we hold, and the moments we experience might not only shape our universe but resonate across realms we cannot perceive, forming an intricate tapestry that binds the cosmos together in ways both beautiful and terrifying. Even philosophy trembles in the face of these possibilities. If the universe is one bubble among countless others, if time and space are local constructs, then the very notion of meaning becomes fluid. Are we alone, or are there other observers, other forms of consciousness, scattered across the multiverse, contemplating their own existence, unaware of ours? If life is possible in an infinite number of domains, then every variation of reality, every path not taken, every choice made, might exist somewhere, forming a kaleidoscope of being beyond human comprehension. And yet, in this vastness, there is a strange solace. To stand in awareness of such immensity is to connect, however fleetingly, with the deepest truths of existence. We are not insignificant, merely limited. We are the conscious edge of a cosmos that is itself in constant motion, creation, and transformation. If this vision stirs something within you, consider staying with us, because the next revelations, the ones that challenge the very nature of reality and our place within it, are beyond even these astonishing possibilities. The universe, it seems, is a fractal of mysteries. With each layer we peel back, the scale expands, the questions multiply, and the familiar dissolves into something astonishingly alien. What lies beyond the observable universe may not be merely empty space, but a domain where the very rules of existence are fluid, where universes collide, split, or drift apart like clouds on an incomprehensible cosmic wind, and where dimensions beyond our own may cradle possibilities we cannot yet name. It is here, in this sprawling, tangled frontier, that imagination meets science, where speculation becomes a necessary bridge between what is known and what is conceivable. And as we venture further along this path, we are forced to confront a humbling, exhilarating truth. The universe is not merely a setting for life and consciousness. It may be a living, evolving structure, far greater than the sum of its parts, stretching endlessly into mysteries that challenge every instinct and assumption we hold. And yet, even as we peer into the multiverse, imagining an infinity of realities, the most extraordinary revelations emerge not from the cosmos alone, but from the intersection of possibility and imagination. Suppose there are realms where the laws of physics we consider immutable are fluid, where time flows backward or sideways, where matter forms shapes that cannot exist in three-dimensional space. Perhaps consciousness itself is not confined to the brain, but a phenomenon that emerges in many forms across many universes, experiencing existence through unimaginable perspectives. Could there be domains where life has evolved to perceive dimensions beyond our senses, where thought and reality are intertwined so deeply that the universe itself is conscious? Or might there be universes so radically different that life, as we define it, could never emerge, yet consciousness finds other ways to flourish, to observe, to measure in modes we cannot begin to comprehend? Each possibility opens new doors, paths diverging endlessly, spiraling into landscapes that are simultaneously terrifying and sublime, and each choice we make, every attempt to understand, is a thread pulling us further into this cosmic labyrinth. If the unfolding of these possibilities captivates your curiosity, remember that every turn in this journey is just a gateway, and to follow the threads of wonder into realms still unseen. You can travel with us further by subscribing, as we trace the boundaries of thought itself. In one speculative path, perhaps our universe is a fragment within a higher dimensional structure, a slice of reality floating in an unfathomable bulk where other universes exist parallel to our own, some colliding, some drifting apart silently, occasionally exchanging energy or information in subtle, undetectable ways. In such a scenario, a black hole might not merely destroy matter, but serve as a bridge or a nursery, where the collapse of one universe sparks the genesis of another, each with new laws, constants, and histories. Perhaps there are echoes of our own existence in these other universes, parallel versions of ourselves making choices we never could, living lives we cannot imagine, yet somehow connected through a web of probabilities that stretches across the infinite. Each branch, each divergence, creates a fractal of realities more intricate than any human mind could fully hold, and yet in contemplating them, we begin to touch the profound, almost sacred, scope of existence itself. And in another path, the boundaries of universes dissolve altogether, leaving a cosmos of pure potential, where every event, every choice, every particle and wave exists simultaneously in an entangled dance beyond comprehension. Here, the multiverse is not a collection of discrete entities, but a fluid, interconnected tapestry, where reality is probabilistic, and existence itself is a continuous interplay of possibility. Time may loop, fold, or bifurcate, creating loops of causality that could explain the mysteries we encounter in quantum mechanics, black holes, and the very origin of the cosmos. To imagine such a structure is to confront a sublime paradox. The universe is finite enough that we can perceive patterns and laws, yet infinite enough that every law may have exceptions, every certainty may be provisional, and every edge we approach is simply another layer of infinite depth. It is a vision that is dizzying, humbling, and utterly awe-inspiring, and one that reminds us that curiosity is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a bridge connecting the mind to the very structure of reality. Philosophically, these revelations force us to reconsider our place in existence. If the universe is one of countless possibilities, if time and space are local constructs, then meaning is not something imposed from the outside, but something we create through awareness, observation, and experience. Our lives, though brief in the scale of cosmic eternity, gain weight precisely because of our consciousness, because we are capable of pondering the infinite, of wondering at the stars, of asking the questions that may never have answers. There is both humility and majesty in this recognition. We are small, yet we are the eyes, the minds, the narrators of a cosmos so vast that its scale can humble and inspire at once. And perhaps that is the truest wonder. In standing at the edge of what is known, peering into the unimaginable, we discover not only the universe beyond, but the depth and potential of our own minds. If this reflection stirs a sense of awe within you, consider remaining with us, because the next exploration, the next cosmic question, is always waiting beyond the horizon, ready to reshape what we thought we understood. Finally, consider the implications of wonder itself. To ask what lies beyond the universe is not merely a scientific question, but an invitation to expand consciousness, to venture into the unknown with courage and humility, to recognize that the universe is not just something out there, but something that enfolds us, shapes us, and calls us to imagine beyond the limits of perception. Every atom in our bodies has a story that stretches across billions of years. Every beat of our hearts is a resonance within a cosmos that is far older and vaster than our brief lives. And when we contemplate what might exist beyond this, we touch a truth that transcends science, philosophy, and imagination alike. Reality is larger, stranger, and more magnificent than we could ever fully grasp. And yet, within that grandeur, our awareness itself is a miracle, capable of glimpsing even the edges of infinity. So we stand at the threshold looking outward, not just at space, but at possibility, at existence itself. And in doing so, we find that the question is no longer merely about the universe. It is about consciousness, curiosity, and the endless capacity of the mind to encounter wonder. The edges of the cosmos may be hidden, the multiverse may be unfathomable, and the mysteries of reality may stretch beyond what any language can describe. Yet in the act of imagining, we bridge the gap between the finite and the infinite. Every choice, every thought, every question we dare to ask is a step into this vast unknown, and every story, every path, every fork in the road carries us further along the journey. If you wish to follow where these infinite paths unfold, to witness the next revelations and explore the edges of understanding, step forward with us by subscribing, and together we will traverse the cosmos of imagination and reality into realms as vast and astonishing as thought itself. And perhaps, in the end, the most profound truth is this: the universe does not have edges in the way we imagine, nor does it have limits to what might exist. Beyond the observable, beyond time, beyond the framework of our comprehension, there lies possibility itself, a boundless ocean of reality stretching in every direction, forever inviting us to wonder, to question, and to dream. And in that invitation we find not fear but freedom, the freedom to let curiosity soar, to let imagination dance across infinities, and to recognize that the cosmos, in all its unfathomable complexity, is a mirror reflecting the limitless potential of our own minds.